Fix yourself before it's too late. How many times have you looked at your life and felt stuck, like you're drifting farther from where you want to be? It's easy to keep pushing change to tomorrow, believing there's still time. But what if tomorrow never comes the way you expect? What if the chance to turn things around slips away because you waited too long? This video isn't about quick fixes or empty promises. It's about facing the hard truth, taking control, and making real change before life forces you to. You'll hear why wasting time is the biggest mistake you can make, and how getting serious about yourself right now can completely change your future. If you want to stop feeling lost and start building the life you deserve, stay with me. This message could be the moment everything begins to shift for you. Number 1, wake up early and face your problems directly now. You know what's worse than failing? Watching yourself drift through life, knowing deep down you could have done more. Waking up day after day, carrying around problems like a weight on your back, acting like it's all fine. When deep down you feel lost, you smile for others. But inside, you're tired. You know something's not right. You feel it in your gut when you look in the mirror. That's not who you were meant to be. That's not who you were born to become. You're watching your life play out like a movie you didn't write. And the scariest part is, you're not even the main character anymore. That's why I'm telling you right now, wake up early and face your problems directly. Not tomorrow, not next week, not when you feel ready. Now, the earlier you wake up, the faster you can face the things you've been avoiding. And I'm not just talking about the clock. I'm talking about waking up inside. Waking up to how far off track you've gotten. Waking up to how much time you've already lost. You don't need a fancy planner or some app to tell you what to do. You need to sit with yourself in silence before the noise of the world gets in. That's when the truth shows up. When the lies stop working. That's when you realize how much pain you've been stuffing under the surface just to keep going. People think avoiding problems will make life easier, but the more you run, the heavier they get. They don't disappear. They sit in your chest, tighten in your neck, mess with your sleep, cloud your thoughts, and make you feel like you're suffocating. Because in a way you are. You're suffocating your potential, your energy, your peace, your confidence. And that's why you feel stuck. You've been delaying the one conversation you need to have with yourself. What is wrong? And what am I going to do about it? You can't lie to yourself forever. Your mind remembers every broken promise you made to yourself. It remembers every morning you hit snooze, instead of starting your day with purpose, and it keeps a record. You don't feel tired because you work hard. You feel tired because you're carrying around unresolved messes and silent regrets. You're waking up to survive, not to build, not to grow, not to lead, just survive. But here's the truth. Survival is not a long-term plan. It's a slow death. You can't keep living like this and expect to feel alive. So what do? You face your problems like a grown-up. You wake up before the world does. You stop pretending. You get honest, brutally honest. And you start with the basics. What's not working? What are you avoiding? Who do you blame? What excuses have become part of your daily routine? It hurts to admit these things, but the pain of staying the same will always be worse than the pain of facing it. When you wake up early, you give yourself a head start, not just over other people, over your past self, over your own laziness, over your doubt, over your bad habits. The first hour of the day is your foundation. If you spend it scrolling, snoozing, and distracting yourself, you already lost the battle. But if you spend it with yourself, with your thoughts, your goals, your fears, and your strategy, you take your life back. You're not just waking up to get dressed and go to work. You're waking up to make sure you're not wasting your one shot at this life. That's what this is about. Not productivity, not hustle, just realignment. If you feel like life's passing you by, it's because it is. You're too distracted, too tired, too overwhelmed. So stop escaping and start confronting. When the alarm rings, get up. Don't think, don't negotiate, don't tell yourself, just 5 more minutes. That's the first battle of the day. Win that one, and the rest get easier. Your life won't change by chance. It will change by choice. And that choice starts with you doing what you've been putting off. You're not broken, you're undisciplined. You're not lost, you're distracted. You're not unlucky, you're unfocused. The fix isn't out there. It's in your habits, in your thoughts, in your morning. You need to decide, am I going to let life keep slipping away while I avoid my problems? Or am I going to wake up and fight for the future I actually want? You're not too far gone. You're not too old. You're not too late. But you are running out of time. Every day you delay, you make your problems stronger. Every morning you sleep in, you tell your potential, it can wait, and it's listening. Your potential doesn't grow in comfort. It grows when you do the uncomfortable work of facing what you don't want to face. Ask yourself this: what are you pretending not to know? What problem are you pretending will solve itself? What truth have you buried because it's too painful to deal with? That's what you need to face. You don't need more motivation. You need more responsibility. You need to feel the weight of your decisions. You need to feel the pressure of time. You need to feel the urgency of fixing your life before it gets worse, because it will get worse if you keep avoiding it. That's the cold truth. Problems don't solve themselves. They multiply. You think you're keeping it together, but you're falling apart slowly. Your confidence drops. Your energy fades. Your relationships suffer. Your work gets sloppy. Your goals slip away. You start accepting a version of yourself that you don't even like. And the more you accept that version, the harder it gets to change. But there's a way out. It starts the moment you wake up and decide to stop lying to yourself. The moment you stop blaming your past. The moment you stop saying one day and start saying today. That's the shift. That's the spark. It's not about being perfect. It's about being honest. You don't need to have it all figured out. You just need to stop hiding from your problems and start solving them one by one. Clean your space. Review your goals. Call the person you've been avoiding. Fix your finances. Show up early. Stop scrolling so much. Eat like you care about your body. Speak to yourself like someone who matters. That's how you start fixing yourself. Not in one big moment, but in small, real choices stacked up over time. And it all begins with waking up early and choosing to show up. You know what it feels like to avoid. You've been doing it for years. So try something new. Face it, even if it's messy, even if it's scary, even if it means breaking down first. That's what it takes to rebuild. You don't get strong by pretending to be fine. You get strong by doing what needs to be done, especially when it's hard. Every problem you ignore today becomes the crisis you deal with later. You can't fix your life if you're too scared to look at it. The people who rise in life are the ones who stop playing games with their future. They wake up, they get real, they act now, and they repeat that process every single day. The world is full of distractions and fake solutions. It tells you to stay comfortable, to wait, to numb yourself. But comfort never fixed anything. What fixes things is showing up, even when you don't feel like it. What changes your life is choosing discomfort now to avoid disaster later. Wake up early and face your problems directly. No more running, no more excuses, no more lies. The version of you that you're supposed to become is waiting on the other side of your fears, your laziness, and your avoidance. And every morning you have a chance to move closer or drift further. So wake up tomorrow like your life depends on it, because it does. Wake up and make it count. Wake up and build a routine that protects your mind. Wake up and take responsibility for every part of your life. And don't stop until your life reflects who you truly are, because the clock's ticking. And the longer you wait, the harder it gets. Fix yourself before it's too late. Before you lose more time. Before you lose more confidence. Before you lose who you really are. The time is now, not later, not someday. Now wake up and take back your life. No one's coming to save you, but you have the power to save yourself. If you're brave enough to face the truth and do the work. Now is the moment. Decide, act, fix it, or you'll live with regret. The choice is yours. Number 2, cut off toxic habits that are ruining your life. If you don't cut off the habits that are destroying you, they will end up defining you. And by the time you realize it, it might be too late to get back who you really are. There's no mystery why your life feels stuck. You've got habits that are stealing your time, draining your energy, and pulling you further away from who you could have been. You don't need more motivation. You need to get honest about what's keeping you small, weak, and full of regret. And it starts with cutting out the toxic behaviors that have quietly taken control of your life. Most people don't even realize it's happening. That's how habits work. They start small. They hide behind excuses. They blend into your routine, but before you know it, they run your entire day. You don't feel excited anymore. You wake up numb. You start avoiding the mirror because deep down, you're not proud of the way you've been living. There are things you're doing every single day that are silently ruining you. And the worst part, you keep calling them normal. You scroll through your phone first thing in the morning. You eat when you're not even hungry. You lie to people just to avoid uncomfortable conversations. You say just this once, like it's not the 100th time. You stay up late doing nothing valuable. You gossip, complain, procrastinate, compare, doubt, escape. You keep saying you'll stop, but you don't, because it's easier to feel momentary comfort than to sit in the discomfort of real growth. But that comfort is costing you your life. You don't fix a sinking ship by pretending it's not leaking. You fix it by plugging the holes. That means you need to start identifying what's broken. And for most people, it's not one big thing. It's 1,000 small choices made over time that add up to a life they don't love living. You've got to be willing to look at yourself and say, this behavior is not helping me. This pattern is not who I want to be. This comfort is killing my future. That takes courage. That takes maturity. That takes a real desire to become someone you respect. The first step is awareness. You've got to slow down and take inventory. What are you doing every day that leaves you feeling worse, not better? What do you keep coming back to that robs you of your peace, your clarity, your discipline? It could be substances. It could be porn. It could be gossip. It could be anger. It could be laziness. It could be spending money you don't have. It could be watching hours of meaningless content just to escape your responsibilities. These aren't just habits. They're symptoms of something deeper. You don't escape because life is hard. You escape because you don't know how to face what hurts. But if you don't face it, it controls you. And if it controls you, your potential stays locked behind fear and excuses. Cutting off toxic habits isn't about punishment. It's about taking your power back. Every time you choose a better action, you tell your brain that you're not a slave to impulse. You build discipline. You create a stronger version of yourself. Not all at once, but with one better choice, repeated daily. But don't fool yourself into thinking change is easy. The hardest part about breaking bad habits is confronting the identity you've built around them. For years, you've probably told yourself, this is just who I am. But it's not who you are. It's who you've practiced being. And that means you can practice being someone else, someone better, someone more in control. There's going to be withdrawal. You'll miss the comfort. You'll crave the escape. You'll try to justify going back. You'll say just once more. But if you go back, you lose momentum. You lose trust in yourself. You reinforce the idea that you can't change. And that's a lie, because you can. But you have to want the new version of yourself more than you want the hit of comfort from your old one. Think about this. What is the cost of staying the same? Not just financially, not just physically, but emotionally, spiritually. What's the cost of waking up 10 years from now and realizing you never changed? That the life you dreamed of became the life you buried under bad habits. You don't need to overhaul your life overnight. That's not sustainable. You start small, but consistent. One habit at a time, one decision at a time. And you commit to mastering that decision until it becomes natural. Not because it's easy, but because it's worth it. Every toxic habit you cut off creates space for a healthy one to grow. The time you used to waste can be used to build. The energy you used to lose can be directed into creating. The confidence you used to kill with self-sabotage can be rebuilt through integrity and action. There's a version of you out there who doesn't depend on these habits to survive. That version is stronger, clearer, more present, more alive. But you'll never meet them if you keep protecting your comfort more than your growth. You've got to make a decision today. Not a wish, not a hope, a real decision. What are you cutting off? What's non-negotiable now? What habit will you no longer tolerate from yourself? And when the temptation shows up, when your body begs you to go back, when your mind starts playing tricks, Remember who you're doing this for. Not for your friends, not for social media, not for some applause. You're doing it for you, for your peace, for your potential, for the life that's still waiting for you to show up like you mean it. This is where transformation starts. When you stop treating your toxic habits like they're innocent. They're not. They're destroying your focus. They're limiting your relationships. They're weakening your discipline. They're hijacking your time. And they're keeping you stuck in cycles that lead nowhere. It's not your circumstances. It's not the economy. It's not your parents. It's not luck. It's the little choices you make when no one's watching, and you know it. You've seen what happens when you live with discipline. You've had days when you were focused, strong, intentional. And how did that feel? Empowering, clear, alive. That's who you really are. But you lose that person every time you choose to go back to the habits you said you'd leave behind. So from now on, no more false promises. No more I'll start tomorrow. No more pretending that it's not that bad, because it is that bad. And it's only getting worse the longer you delay. Cut off the toxic habits now. Don't manage them. Eliminate them. Delete the apps. Clear your environment. Distance yourself from the people who feed your weakness. Change your routine. Replace the patterns. Retrain your brain. This is war. And if you don't fight, you lose. But you can win. Not because it's easy, but because it's necessary. Your dreams are worth fighting for. Your peace is worth protecting. Your self-respect is worth more than any short-term fix. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to stop lying to yourself. Stop saying it's okay when you know it's not. Stop saying you'll quit when you have more time. That time will never come unless you make it. And the only way to make it is by cutting out what's been killing your time all along. Your mind is like a garden. You can't expect to grow anything good if you don't pull out the weeds. And your habits are the roots. Dig them out, not later. Now, because every moment you wait, you risk becoming someone you don't even recognize anymore. This is your life. You get one. And whether it becomes something beautiful or something wasted, depends on how honest you're willing to be about the habits that are shaping it. Choose better now, while you still can. Cut off the toxic habits that are ruining your life, and never look back. Not because the old version of you didn't matter, but because the new one matters more. Decide, commit, act. You'll thank yourself every day for the rest of your life. Number 3, take full control of your thoughts every morning. If you don't learn to control your thoughts every morning, your thoughts will control your entire day. And most of the time, they'll lead you to a version of yourself you never intended to become. The moment your eyes open, something begins. Not just a new day, but a new battle. And that battle starts in your mind. Before your feet hit the floor, your brain is already active. It's already trying to pull you toward the same patterns you said you wanted to break. It's offering you doubt. It's whispering limitations. It's reminding you of yesterday's problems. And if you're not intentional, you'll start your day already defeated, mentally tired, emotionally stuck, and spiritually disconnected. Most people wake up and surrender without even realizing it. They grab their phone, scroll through someone else's life, compare, complain, and instantly hand over the most powerful weapon they have, their focus. But the people who win, the ones who grow, the ones who build a life they're proud of, they do something very different. They take control of their mind before the world has a chance to influence it. You've got to understand this. Your first thoughts in the morning are a preview of your entire day. If you don't filter them, if you don't shape them, they will shape you. And you can't afford to keep waking up on autopilot, letting negativity sneak in through the back door of your consciousness and take the wheel. Because that's how you stay stuck. That's how you keep living in survival mode when you were meant to build something meaningful. Taking control of your thoughts isn't about pretending life is perfect. It's about choosing a mindset that moves you forward, even when life isn't. It's about deciding what kind of person you're going to be before the world tries to tell you who you are. And that decision must be made every single morning with urgency and clarity. There's a reason high performers have morning rituals. There's a reason people who grow fast and strong and steady protect the first hour of their day like their life depends on it. Because it does. That first hour sets the tone for everything that follows. Your energy, your emotions, your responses, your level of self-respect. All of it comes down to how you program your mind before life starts demanding things from you. Most of us have 1,000 things pulling at us. The second we wake up, responsibilities, notifications, conversations, worries, But those things don't get to decide your attitude. You do. And when you take the first few minutes of your day to align your thoughts, you start shifting the course of your life, quietly but powerfully. You don't have to do anything complicated, but you do have to be deliberate. You have to say to yourself, this is my mind, and I'm in charge of what I allow inside it. That means no more checking your phone before you check your thoughts. No more rushing into your day without intention. No more letting yesterday's pain decide today's behavior. Start by asking yourself the hard questions. What am I thinking about that I don't need to carry anymore? What beliefs am I waking up with that keep me small? What lies am I entertaining that need to be silenced? What kind of energy am I inviting by the way I speak to myself? If your morning thoughts are filled with fear, you'll see fear everywhere. If they're filled with guilt, you'll punish yourself for the rest of the day. If they're filled with doubt, you'll shrink from every opportunity. But if they're filled with purpose, you'll walk with direction. If they're filled with gratitude, you'll see beauty where you used to see burden. If they're filled with belief, you'll take action even when you're uncertain. You become what you repeatedly think about. And when you don't take charge of that process, the world will fill the silence with distractions, noise, and pressure that pull you further from yourself. So instead of rushing, pause. Even for just 5 minutes, sit with yourself. Listen to your breath. Ask yourself what you want to build today, not just what you have to do. Speak words that carry power. Visualize the person you're becoming, not just the problems you're solving. Let your thoughts become a foundation, not a reaction. Most people live in reaction mode. They wake up already feeling behind. They start the day chasing. But that creates anxiety. That creates confusion. That creates self-doubt. You've got to flip the script. You've got to step into creation mode. You've got to create peace, create focus, create strength. And that starts in your mind. Before the world demands anything from you. There will be days when it's hard. Days when your first thoughts are heavy. Days when your past screams louder than your future. But those are the days that matter the most. Because how you respond in those moments determines who you become over time. It's not about being positive all the time. It's about being intentional. It's about choosing direction over distraction, growth over comfort, alignment over autopilot. And yes, it takes practice. You won't master it in a day. But every time you choose to reclaim your mind in the morning, you train yourself to become stronger, calmer, and more centered. You start trusting yourself. You start showing up with more clarity. And that becomes your edge. You can't afford to leave your mind unguarded. Not in a world that's constantly trying to hijack your attention. Not when your peace is already fragile. Not when your goals require discipline. Not when your future is being shaped by the habits you repeat daily. You don't need a miracle to change your life. You need a mindset that's bulletproof. And that starts every morning. You've been given a fresh page each day. Don't fill it with the same self-sabotaging thoughts you've repeated for years. Fill it with clarity, with direction, with identity. Choose to be the author of your thoughts, not the victim of your circumstances. This is where transformation really happens. Not in the loud breakthroughs, but in the quiet decisions. In the moment you sit up in bed and say, I choose strength today. I choose discipline. I choose growth. I choose to be who I said I would be. You don't have to be ruled by the thoughts you inherited. You don't have to keep repeating patterns that don't serve you. You don't have to stay stuck in mental loops that drain your energy. You get to choose again, and you get to start that choice every morning. But make no mistake, this isn't just about motivation. This is about mastery. And mastery begins in the mind. Not once, but every single day. So ask yourself, who do I want to be when I leave this room? What kind of presence do I want to bring into the world? What version of me do I want to reinforce? Because if you don't define it, distraction will define it for you. Take control of your thoughts, the way an artist takes control of a blank canvas. With care, with purpose, with intensity. Be relentless about what you allow into your mental space. Protect your mind like it's sacred, because it is. Don't just consume, create. Don't just react, direct. Don't just survive the morning. Own it. Every day you delay this practice, you hand over control to habits and patterns that weren't designed to serve you. But the moment you reclaim it, you begin designing a life that reflects your deepest values. This is how change becomes permanent. Not in some big event, but in the consistency of your morning mind. Show up with purpose, think with intention, and live with power. The rest of your life depends on how you start your day. And your day begins in your mind. So make it count. Take full control of your thoughts every morning, and you'll begin to take full control of your life. Number 4, fix your attitude before it destroys your chances. If your attitude is broken, it doesn't matter how talented you are, how hard you work, or how many opportunities come your way. You will destroy your chances before you even get started. Your attitude is the invisible force behind every decision you make. It's the lens through which you see the world, and it colors everything you do. A single negative thought can twist your reality, shrink your dreams, and sabotage your progress. If you don't fix your attitude, you won't just miss chances, you'll create barriers that weren't even there before. There's a silent killer stalking your success, and it lives inside your mind. It's disguised as frustration, cynicism, bitterness, or indifference. It whispers lies like, "You're not good enough," or "This will never work," or "Why even try?" You might not even realize it's there until it's already taken root, slowly poisoning your motivation, draining your energy, and clouding your vision. Many people confuse attitude with mood or feelings, but attitude is a choice. It's the decision you make to see your challenges as obstacles or opportunities. It's how you respond when things don't go your way, and it's what determines if you rise or fall in the face of adversity. You might think you can fake a good attitude, or that it's something that comes naturally to some people and not others. But that's a lie that keeps you stuck. The truth is, attitude is a skill you develop. It's a muscle you build through practice and self-awareness. You don't wait for the perfect mindset to start. You start with the mindset you have and work on improving it. Imagine two people faced with the same setback. One sees it as a dead end, feels defeated, and gives up. The other sees a lesson, learns from the experience, and keeps moving forward. The difference isn't luck or circumstance, it's attitude. One chose to let negativity win. The other chose to fight for their future. Your attitude shapes your relationships too. How you treat people, how you respond to criticism, and how you handle stress all flow from your internal mindset. A bad attitude creates conflict, isolates you from support, and blocks doors that might otherwise open wide. A positive, resilient attitude builds bridges, attracts opportunities, and fuels momentum. But fixing your attitude isn't about ignoring reality or pretending everything is perfect. It's about facing the truth with honesty and courage. It's about recognizing when your thoughts and emotions are steering you off course and choosing to course correct before it's too late. Ask yourself, what attitudes are holding me back? What stories am I telling myself that limit my potential? What patterns of negativity have I accepted as normal? This self-examination isn't easy. It's uncomfortable, but it's necessary if you want to reclaim your power. When you commit to fixing your attitude, you start by noticing your inner dialogue, the quiet voice that shapes your self-image. Start catching the moments when you spiral into doubt, blame, or fear. Interrupt those patterns by consciously shifting your thoughts toward solutions, gratitude, and growth. This rewiring rewires your brain to expect better, seek better, and become better. Another powerful step is to surround yourself with attitudes that inspire and challenge you. The people you spend the most time with influence your mindset more than you realize. Choose to be around those who push you to be your best, who see potential instead of problems, and who encourage resilience instead of resignation. Gratitude is a game changer in transforming attitude. When you intentionally focus on what's working, what you have, and what you can be thankful for, you shift your energy from scarcity to abundance. This shift doesn't just feel better. It rewires your brain to notice more opportunities and possibilities. Sometimes your attitude needs more than just mental effort. It requires action. Take small steps towards your goals, even when your mind resists. Movement creates momentum, and momentum fuels confidence. The simple act of showing up with the right attitude, even on tough days, sets you apart from the crowd. Remember, your attitude is your brand. It's what people remember about you when you're not in the room. It's how you show up in every conversation, every challenge, and every opportunity. If you want to change your life, start by changing the way you carry yourself mentally and emotionally. Fixing your attitude before it destroys your chances means becoming brutally honest with yourself. It means refusing to let excuses, bitterness, or fear dictate your future. It means embracing responsibility for how you think and feel, because no one else can do it for you. Waiting for someone to fix your attitude is a trap that keeps you powerless. Visualize the impact of a strong, positive attitude. Picture yourself waking up, eager, tackling challenges with calm confidence, inspiring others with your energy, and turning setbacks into setups for greater success. That's the power of mindset mastery. That's what separates those who settle from those who soar. This journey is deeply personal. There's no magic pill or quick fix. It's about the daily decision to refuse negativity, to welcome challenges, and to believe in your own ability to grow. When you choose to fix your attitude, you unlock a reservoir of strength you never knew existed. You don't have to carry the weight of a broken mindset anymore. You deserve a mindset that serves you, not one that drains you. Every moment you spend nurturing your attitude is an investment in your future. It compounds over time, creating unstoppable momentum. If you're ready to change your life, start with your attitude. Don't wait until circumstances force you to. Don't wait for a crisis to show you how fragile your mindset might be. Be proactive. Be intentional. Protect your chances by protecting your attitude. This is your chance to reset, to rebuild, to rise. And it starts with how you think, feel, and respond right now. Choose to fix your attitude today. Choose to win before the race even begins. Remember, the greatest victories are won not by talent alone, but by those who master their mind. Fix your attitude, and you fix your chances. Fix your chances, and you fix your destiny. Now take a deep breath, look yourself in the mirror, and promise, I will own my attitude. I will control my mind. I will fight for my future, because no one else will do it for me. The power is in your hands. Use it, own it, and watch how your life transforms beyond what you ever thought possible. Number 5, start telling yourself the full truth every day. If you want to change your life, it starts with one brutal, unwavering commitment. Telling yourself the full truth every single day. There's nothing more powerful and nothing more frightening than facing yourself without filters, without excuses, without the lies we tell to soften reality. Most of us live in a haze of denial, convincing ourselves that things aren't as bad as they are, that failures are just temporary setbacks, that we're doing okay, even when we're barely surviving. But every moment you avoid the truth, you give your problems more power, and you steal your own chance to grow. Imagine standing in front of a mirror, but this mirror doesn't just reflect your face. It reflects every choice you've avoided owning, every promise you broke, every fear you've hidden deep inside. Most people turn away because it hurts too much to see themselves clearly. But what if I told you that the real freedom, the real breakthrough, is found only in that painful honesty? Telling yourself the full truth means stripping away the illusions and confronting what you've been avoiding. It means recognizing when you've settled for less than you deserve, when you've accepted excuses as reality, and when you've pretended to be stronger than you actually feel. This isn't about beating yourself up or dwelling on mistakes. It's about clearing the fog so you can see the path ahead without confusion or self-deception. There's a story about a man who spent years blaming everyone else for his failures, his family, his circumstances, his luck. He thought he was a victim of life. One day, he was forced to confront his reflection after losing everything. The moment he admitted the truth that he had been responsible for many of his own setbacks was the moment his life began to change. That brutal honesty unlocked a fierce determination to rebuild, to improve, and to never lie to himself again. When you tell yourself the full truth, you reclaim control. You no longer hand over the steering wheel of your life to denial or excuse. Instead, you become the driver who navigates with clear vision. You stop making decisions based on fear, avoidance, or self-pity, and start making them from a place of clarity and courage. But it's not just about identifying what's wrong. It's about seeing what's possible. Truth reveals your starting point, your weaknesses, your blind spots. It exposes the habits and beliefs that keep you stuck. Once these are laid bare, you can begin the real work of transformation. Daily truth-telling is a discipline. It demands courage because it forces you to peel back layers you've hidden under for years. It's easier to look away, to comfort yourself with lies about how tomorrow will be different or how this time it will work out. But that comfort is a trap that keeps you chained to the same struggles. One of the most painful truths many avoid is their own role in their failures. We are quick to blame external factors, but rarely do we want to acknowledge how our choices, inactions, and patterns contribute to our current state. It's a tough pill to swallow, but when you embrace it, you unlock the power to change. This practice also builds radical self-respect. When you face your truth every day, you stop betraying yourself with denial. You honor your own experience by giving it the attention and honesty it deserves. This respect forms the foundation of confidence that cannot be shaken by outside forces. The mind is incredibly skilled at creating stories to protect itself from pain, but those stories eventually become chains that bind your potential. Telling yourself the full truth breaks those chains. It dismantles the narratives that say you're not good enough, that you'll never succeed, or that you're stuck forever. Start small. Look honestly at where you are right now, your habits, your relationships, your mindset. Write it down. Don't soften the edges. Write down what you're avoiding, what you're afraid to admit, and what you've been pretending to yourself. This act alone begins the process of clearing mental clutter and emotional baggage. As you do this daily, you'll start noticing patterns. You'll see where you've been dishonest with yourself. These are your signals for growth. When you spot them, don't shy away. Lean in. Ask yourself why you've been hiding these truths and what you need to do to break free. Truth-telling isn't a one-time event. It's a journey. Some days will be harder than others. You will want to retreat into comfort zones and familiar lies. But every time you choose honesty, you reinforce a new way of being. You prove to yourself that you are stronger than your fears and more committed than your excuses. This honesty also sharpens your intuition. When you stop feeding yourself lies, your internal compass recalibrates. You begin to recognize what's real and what's not, with crystal clarity. You stop chasing illusions and start pursuing what truly matters to you. The transformation goes beyond mindset. When you tell yourself the full truth, your actions begin to align with your reality. You stop wasting energy on denial and start directing it towards solutions. Your priorities become clearer, your decisions more intentional, and your life more aligned with your deepest goals. There's a hidden benefit that many don't realize. Telling the truth to yourself daily builds resilience. When you accept reality in all its rawness, you prepare yourself to face challenges head on. You develop a toughness that's grounded in reality, not in false hope or wishful thinking. Sometimes the truth will hurt. Sometimes it will reveal uncomfortable facts about your life, your habits, or your relationships. But every pain it brings is a step toward healing. Every hard realization is an opportunity to rebuild on a stronger foundation. Think about the difference between living in denial and living in truth, like this. Denial is like trying to run a race with a blindfold on. You stumble, fall, and get lost. Truth removes the blindfold. It lets you see the track, the obstacles, and the finish line clearly. It doesn't guarantee the race will be easy, but it guarantees you won't be lost. There is freedom in honesty. Freedom from anxiety because you no longer live in the shadows of uncertainty. Freedom from regret because you finally own your story without excuses. Freedom from stagnation because you confront what's holding you back instead of hiding from it. Start now. Begin your day with a moment of clear-eyed reflection. Ask yourself, am I telling myself the whole truth about where I am, what I want, and what's standing in my way? Don't settle for half-truths or comforting lies. Demand the full picture. As you practice, your self-awareness will deepen. You will start catching yourself in moments of self-deception or denial throughout the day. When this happens, pause and bring yourself back to truth. This habit rewires your mind for honesty and integrity. Remember, the truth is not your enemy. It is your greatest ally. It's the foundation of every meaningful change and the first step toward genuine growth. Without truth, progress is a house built on sand. With truth, progress is a fortress that withstands any storm. You don't have to do this alone. Seek out those who value truth as much as you want to. Surround yourself with people who hold you accountable, who challenge you to be honest, and who support your journey toward authenticity. Your life is waiting on the other side of truth. Every dream, every goal, every desire becomes clearer and more attainable when you stop hiding and start facing reality. This clarity is the spark that ignites unstoppable momentum. It won't be easy, but nothing worthwhile ever is. The greatest gift you can give yourself is the courage to stop lying to yourself and to others. This courage opens doors that have been locked by denial and fear for far too long. Every day you commit to telling yourself the full truth, you build a new identity, one of strength, clarity, and integrity. This identity empowers you to act boldly, love deeply, and live fully. Now decide, will you keep living in the haze of half-truths, or will you step into the light of honesty? The choice is yours. The time is now. Embrace the power of truth. Transform your life. Become unstoppable. And once you start telling yourself the full truth every day, you will never look back. Number 6, clean up your environment and stay mentally sharp. If your mind feels cloudy, distracted, or overwhelmed, the chaos around you might be stealing your clarity, and fixing that starts with cleaning up your environment. Too often, we underestimate how deeply our surroundings impact our mental sharpness. You can have all the ambition and discipline in the world, but if your space is cluttered, noisy, or toxic, your mind will struggle to focus, to think clearly, and to perform at its best. The truth is, your environment is like the soil where your mind grows. If the soil is polluted, dry, or full of weeds, the seeds of your potential won't sprout as they should. Think about the last time you tried to work or think deeply in a messy room. Papers scattered everywhere, distractions pulling you in every direction, noise constantly breaking your concentration. How did it feel? Frustrating? Draining? That frustration is a signal that your environment is robbing you of your mental power. There's a story about a woman who struggled for years with focus and motivation. Her mind was constantly busy, but she got little done. One day she committed to cleaning her workspace, removing everything unnecessary, organizing her tools, and creating a calm, inviting space. The change was immediate. Her mind became clearer, her thoughts sharper, and her energy more consistent. The simple act of cleaning her environment unlocked a level of productivity and mental strength she never knew she had. Your environment isn't just physical, it's also emotional and digital. The people you surround yourself with, the media you consume, and the habits you cultivate online all shape your mental landscape. If these elements are chaotic, negative, or distracting, your mind pays the price. Cleaning up your environment means more than just tidying your desk. It means creating a space that supports your goals, that calms your mind, and that inspires action. It means removing the things that drain your energy and replacing them with what fuels your growth. Start by assessing your physical surroundings. Is your space cluttered with things that don't serve you? Are distractions constantly pulling your attention away? Clearing out unnecessary items isn't about perfection. It's about making room for focus. When your environment is simple and organized, your brain can breathe. It can prioritize, plan, and perform without constant interruptions. But don't stop there. Look at the emotional environment you live in. Are you surrounded by people who bring out your best, or by those who drain your energy? Toxic relationships weigh heavily on mental clarity. Protect your mind by setting boundaries and choosing your company wisely. Digital clutter is equally damaging. The endless noise of notifications, social media, and mindless scrolling overloads your brain with information that doesn't help you grow. Taking control over your digital environment, turning off non-essential alerts, limiting screen time, and curating what you consume creates mental space for deep thinking and creativity. When you clean up your environment, you create a foundation for mental sharpness that's almost impossible to achieve otherwise. The mind is like a muscle. It needs the right conditions to perform at its peak. A clean, organized, and positive space is that condition. There's a powerful psychological effect that happens when you clear your environment. It signals to your brain that it's time to focus, to work, and to create. Your mind shifts out of a distracted, overwhelmed state and into one of flow and clarity. Imagine waking up each day and stepping into a space that feels calm and inspiring. Imagine how much more you could accomplish with fewer distractions and a clearer mind. The energy you save from not battling clutter and chaos can be redirected into your goals, your passions, and your growth. Cleaning your environment also teaches discipline and intentionality. It's a daily practice that reinforces your commitment to yourself. Every time you choose to organize, to simplify, and to protect your mental space, you're telling yourself that your success and well-being matter. Many people ignore this connection, thinking that mental sharpness is only about motivation or willpower. But no amount of motivation can overcome a constant barrage of distractions and disorder. The environment sets the stage, and your mind performs on that stage. There is an undeniable link between physical clutter and mental clutter. Studies have shown that people in cluttered spaces experience more stress and find it harder to focus. Your brain simply can't filter out the excess stimuli fast enough. Clearing your space clears your mind. This doesn't mean you need to live in sterile minimalism. It means crafting a space that suits your needs and supports your mental health. Fill your environment with things that motivate you. A vision board, a favorite book, inspiring quotes, or calming plants. Let your space remind you of who you want to be. The process of cleaning and organizing your environment is itself transformative. It demands that you face what you've been ignoring. The piles of unfinished tasks, the distractions you indulge, the comfort zones that no longer serve you. It forces you to be honest with yourself about what you allow into your life. As you commit to this practice, you'll notice a shift in how you feel mentally and emotionally. Anxiety lessens because your surroundings no longer scream for your attention. Your creativity blooms because your mind has the freedom to roam without limits. Your energy stabilizes because you're not constantly fighting chaos. Another hidden benefit is that cleaning your environment builds momentum. It's a tangible action with immediate results. Seeing your space transform can spark motivation in other areas of your life. It reminds you that change is possible and within your control. Sometimes cleaning your environment means making tough decisions, letting go of relationships, habits, or possessions that hold you back. These choices can be painful, but they are necessary for growth. Mental sharpness isn't just about removing clutter. It's about removing toxicity. This process also teaches you to value your mental space. When you see how much clearer and sharper you feel after cleaning your environment, you become more protective of that clarity. You start saying no to distractions that don't serve you, no to commitments that drain you, and no to negativity. It's important to understand that cleaning your environment is not a one-time event, but an ongoing practice. Your life changes, your goals shift, and so your environment must adapt. Regularly reassess and adjust your space and relationships to keep your mind at its peak. You can begin right now. Take a look around you. Identify one small area you can clean or organize today. Maybe it's your desk, your email inbox, or your social media feeds. Take that first step and notice how your mind responds. Keep going. Each small act of clearing, simplifying, and protecting your mental space adds up. Soon you'll have built a fortress of clarity and focus that nothing can break through. Mental sharpness isn't a gift you're born with. It's a skill you develop by creating the right conditions. And those conditions start with your environment. You owe it to yourself to invest in that space, to treat it as the sacred ground where your dreams and ideas take root. Don't wait for motivation to magically appear in a chaotic room. Create the conditions that allow motivation to thrive. Give yourself the gift of a clean environment and watch your mental power skyrocket. The life you want, the goals you're chasing, the person you're becoming, they all need a clear mind to flourish. Start by clearing the space around you. Protect your mental sharpness like the valuable asset it is. This is the secret few talk about, but everyone who achieves greatness practices without fail. Clean environment, clear mind, unstoppable you. Now it's your turn to take action. Begin today by cleaning, organizing, and protecting your environment. Watch as your mind sharpens, your focus deepens, and your energy amplifies. Commit to this practice and never let clutter steal your mental power again. The clarity and strength you seek are waiting for you on the other side of that commitment. You have the power to transform your mental landscape starting now. Embrace it, own it, and move forward sharper than ever before. Number 7. Push yourself to follow a strict daily routine. The truth is this: if you want to change your life, if you want to break through every barrier that's been holding you back, then you must learn to push yourself to follow a strict daily routine. No excuses, no exceptions. This isn't about perfection or rigidity for the sake of rules. It's about creating a foundation so solid that every part of your life can grow stronger and more focused. Imagine a life where your days don't slip through your fingers like sand, where distractions don't control you, and where you hold the reins of your time, energy, and actions. I know it sounds tough, because it is. Pushing yourself to stick to a strict routine means facing discomfort every single day. It means fighting your natural urge to procrastinate, to settle for easier options. to give in to whatever feels good in the moment. But what separates the people who win from those who don't is this willingness to embrace discipline, even when it's hard. Let me tell you a story. There was a man who dreamed of success but found himself stuck in endless cycles of distraction and delay. Each morning he promised he would start fresh. But the moment the alarm rang, temptation whispered in his ear, "Just 5 more minutes. You deserve a break." Days turned into weeks and weeks into years. Yet nothing changed. One day something shifted. He committed to one rule. No matter what, he would follow a strict daily routine, designed not by chance but by purpose. He set his wake-up time, planned his work, blocked time for rest and growth, and held himself accountable. The first few days were brutal. His mind fought him every step of the way. But slowly, something incredible happened. His energy stabilized. His focus sharpened. Tasks that once felt impossible became manageable. That man transformed his life by showing up for himself consistently, even when he didn't feel like it. That's the power of a strict daily routine. The routine creates structure. Structure creates momentum. Momentum creates results. Without it, you're at the mercy of chance, mood, and distractions. Your day becomes a random battle to get anything meaningful done. But with a routine, your time no longer controls you. You control your time. You may be thinking, "I'm not a morning person," or "My life is too unpredictable to follow a strict schedule." Those are lies. Your mind tells you to avoid discomfort. The truth is, a routine is flexible. It's a framework, not a prison. You don't have to wake up at 5 a.m. if that's not you. But you do need a consistent time to start your day. You don't have to do every task perfectly, but you do need a plan that guides your actions and keeps you accountable. The challenge is pushing past resistance. That voice inside that says, "Not today. I'll start tomorrow." Every time you choose to follow your routine despite resistance, you build strength, mental toughness that spills over into every part of your life. This mental toughness is the real secret. It's not just about doing things. It's about doing what you said you would do even when you don't want to. That builds trust with yourself. And self-trust is the foundation of success. When you follow a strict routine, your brain stops wasting energy deciding what to do next. Decisions become automatic. You conserve willpower for bigger challenges. This clarity fuels confidence and reduces stress. Your routine also becomes a daily promise to your future self. Each morning you invest in the person you want to become. Every evening you reflect on your progress and adjust. This cycle turns into unstoppable forward motion. Think about the routines of the most successful people in the world. They don't leave their day to chance. They design it deliberately. They rise before distractions arrive. They guard their time fiercely. This isn't luck, it's strategy. You might wonder how to create a routine that works for you. Start small. Pick key anchors, like a consistent wake-up time, a focused work block, time for exercise or meditation, and a nightly wind-down ritual. Build around those anchors slowly. Remember, it's better to start with a routine you can keep than to build an overwhelming schedule you abandon in days. Consistency beats intensity every time. You'll feel your life come into alignment as your daily actions sync with your goals. Small wins each day compound into massive transformations over months and years. And here's a secret. A strict routine doesn't crush freedom. It creates it. When your day is organized, you actually free up mental space to enjoy spontaneity without guilt or anxiety. Your routine acts as a launch pad, not a cage, but be prepared. This path is not comfortable. You will face internal battles. You'll want to quit. You'll encounter days where nothing goes as planned. The difference is that when you commit to your routine, you don't let one bad day derail you. You get up and do it again. Over time, this daily practice rewires your brain. Discipline becomes a habit. Motivation is no longer a requirement to act, because you've created a system where action happens regardless. The transformation is profound. You'll start seeing results not just in productivity, but in confidence, resilience, and peace of mind. So ask yourself, what would your life look like if you followed a strict daily routine for the next 30 days? What mountains could you move? What dreams could become reality? This is your call to action. Start today. Write down your ideal daily routine. Keep it simple. Make it realistic. Commit to it fully. Don't wait for motivation. Don't wait for perfect conditions. Push yourself even when you don't feel like it. That is where true growth lives. Your future self will thank you for this commitment. Because the power to change your life isn't hidden in some secret formula. It's in the daily decisions you make to show up for yourself consistently. Now is the moment to take control. Build your routine. Build your discipline. Build your unstoppable future. Keep pushing. Keep showing up. The life you want is waiting on the other side of your commitment. Number 8, drop the lazy excuses and start showing discipline. Stop right now and face the truth you've been avoiding. Excuses are the chains keeping you trapped in the same place. The moment you decide to drop every lazy excuse and embrace discipline is the moment your entire world starts to shift. Excuses are comfortable. They whisper sweet lies to your mind that ease the pain of effort, of failure, of discomfort. They tell you you're too tired, you don't have enough time. Tomorrow will be better, but those lies cost you more than you realize. They steal your dreams, your potential, your power. I want you to picture the last time you said, I can't, I'll do it later, or it's just too hard. How did that feel afterward? There's a sting that hits deep inside, a mix of regret, frustration, and self-doubt. Those moments stack up, one after another, until you're buried under a mountain of what-ifs and could-have-beens. But here's the truth. The only thing standing between you and the life you crave is the choice to stop making excuses. Discipline isn't some magical power reserved for a chosen few. It's a muscle, a skill you develop by deciding, right now, to do what needs to be done, even when you don't want to. Imagine for a moment what it would feel like to wake up every day knowing you are in control. No more bending to weakness. No more giving in to that little voice inside that says, not today. You start to build momentum because you honor your commitments to yourself. That feeling is addictive, empowering beyond words. I want to share something real. There was a time when I was drowning in excuses. I told myself I wasn't ready. I lacked resources. I was too overwhelmed. But each excuse kept me stuck in a loop of disappointment. Then one day I realized something fundamental. Waiting for the right moment is the biggest lie I've ever told myself. The world doesn't wait. Opportunities don't wait. Time keeps moving whether you act or not. So I made a choice. No more excuses. Just action. That choice wasn't easy. The first steps felt like dragging my body through quicksand. But with every task I completed, no matter how small, I rewired my brain. I built resilience. I proved to myself I was stronger than my fears and doubts. Discipline became my weapon against laziness. It wasn't about motivation anymore because motivation fades. Discipline stays. This is where the power lies, in showing up when you don't feel like it. When your mind screams to quit, discipline is what pushes you forward. It's the commitment to consistency, to small actions repeated daily, that builds unstoppable progress. You might think discipline means sacrifice, rigid schedules, or endless struggle. It doesn't have to be that way. Discipline is about respect. Respect for your goals, your time, and yourself. It's about choosing long-term rewards over short-term comfort. Look around you. The most successful people didn't get there by waiting for motivation or feeling inspired every day. They got there by doing the work, regardless of feelings. They faced the discomfort and moved through it. Now imagine your life if you started doing the same. What if every time you felt like quitting, you said, not today? What if every time excuses tried to sneak in, you shut the door firmly and chose action instead? The secret to dropping excuses is simple but powerful. Change your identity. Stop seeing yourself as someone who can't, or won't, or isn't ready. Start seeing yourself as a disciplined person who honors commitments and pushes beyond limits. Discipline rewires your mind to crave growth instead of comfort. It turns struggle into progress. It transforms you from a passive dreamer into an active creator of your destiny. And here's something crucial. Discipline isn't about perfection. It's about persistence. You will stumble. You will fail. But discipline means getting up, learning, and moving forward anyway. This mindset shift alone will change everything. You stop blaming circumstances or people. You take full responsibility. That's the moment real power awakens inside you. I challenge you to identify one excuse you use most often. Write it down. Now replace it with a commitment, a promise to yourself that you will act despite that excuse. This isn't a quick fix. It's a daily battle to silence excuses and amplify discipline. But every victory, no matter how small, rewires your brain and strengthens your resolve. Discipline will become your foundation, the engine driving your success. It will give you clarity when confusion clouds your mind, and courage when fear tries to paralyze you. Picture how your life will look when excuses no longer hold you back. You will move with purpose, achieve your goals faster, and feel a sense of pride that only comes from doing what others won't. This moment is your turning point. The path to greatness doesn't start with a huge leap. It begins with a single choice. Drop your excuses today and start showing discipline. Don't wait for the perfect day or the right feeling. Take control now. Commit to action. Push beyond comfort. Your future self will thank you for it. Remember, discipline is freedom. It frees you from the chains of procrastination and self-doubt. It unlocks your potential and opens doors to opportunities you never thought possible. So stand up, take a deep breath. Say it out loud. I will stop making excuses. I will show discipline every day. Then take that first step, no matter how small. Build momentum with each action. Because the life you want isn't found in excuses. It's found in discipline. Keep pushing. Keep fighting. Keep proving to yourself that you are stronger than any excuse. Your transformation begins now. Make it count. Number 9, confront your fears and stop running from them. Fear has been quietly stealing your life away. Every single day you chose to run from it. The hardest battle you will ever face isn't outside in the world. It's the war raging inside your mind. Fear doesn't just whisper lies. It screams them, shaking your confidence, clouding your judgment, and chaining you to a place where your dreams go to die. Running from your fears may feel safe in the moment, but with every step you take away, you surrender more of your power and your potential. Think about the moments when fear stopped you, the opportunities you let slip through your fingers, the chances you never took, because your mind screamed, what if? What if you fail? What if you get rejected? What if you lose control? These questions paralyze. They suffocate. They freeze you in place while life moves forward without you. But here's a truth many never dare to face. Fear is not the enemy. It is a signpost pointing exactly where you need to go. Behind that wall of fear lies growth, success, and transformation. The difference between those who achieve greatness and those who settle for less is simple. Courage to confront fear head-on instead of running from it. I want you to picture fear as a shadow lurking in the dark corners of your mind. You can keep hiding, but it will only grow bigger, or you can shine a light on it. The moment you do, fear loses its power. It shrinks. It becomes manageable. There was a time when fear controlled me. It whispered that I wasn't enough, that I should stay comfortable and safe. I made a habit of avoiding anything that felt risky or unfamiliar, but that only led to frustration and emptiness. I realized that avoiding fear was like trying to outrun my own shadow. It never leaves you. It just waits for you to stop. One day I decided to step toward what scared me. The first steps were terrifying. My heart raced, my hands shook, and doubt clawed at my mind. But every time I took that step, a new part of me was born. Fear began to lose its grip, replaced by a new feeling, confidence. When you confront your fears, you reclaim the space they once occupied. You remind yourself that you are bigger than your doubts, that no feeling, no matter how intense, can control you unless you allow it. The psychology behind fear is fascinating. Our brains are wired to protect us from danger, but in today's world, fear often reacts to imagined threats rather than real ones. This means your fear is not always truth. It's a distorted version of reality, magnified by uncertainty and insecurity. Understanding this is powerful. It means you can learn to question your fear instead of submitting to it. When fear says stop, ask yourself, is this real danger or just discomfort? Most times, discomfort means growth is near. This is why confronting fear is a skill you must practice daily. Start small. Challenge the little fears that hold you back from speaking your mind, trying something new, or setting boundaries. Each victory over these small fears prepares you for the bigger battles ahead. Remember, courage isn't the absence of fear. It's moving forward despite feeling afraid. The heroes of history weren't fearless. They were brave because they acted even when fear was present. Imagine the freedom you'll feel when fear no longer dictates your choices. When you stop running, you'll discover a strength inside you that you didn't know existed, a power fueled by resilience and belief in yourself. I challenge you now, identify the fear you've been running from the longest. Look it straight in the eye, write it down, feel it fully, then commit to one small action today that moves you closer to it, instead of away. Every time you confront fear, you weaken its hold. You build a track record of courage that rewires your mind to see fear as a signal for growth, not a reason to retreat. The journey won't be easy. Fear is a relentless opponent. But with every step forward, you gain momentum. With every challenge faced, you grow stronger. Let me remind you that running from fear is not safety. It's a prison. The cage is made of your own doubts and what-ifs. The key to unlock it is courage, and you hold it in your hands. Take that key. Step into the unknown. Face the fear that's been haunting your dreams. Because the life you want is on the other side. The confidence, freedom, and fulfillment you crave are waiting beyond the walls you've built around yourself. This is your moment, your chance to become the person you were always meant to be. The person who doesn't run from fear, but uses it as fuel to ignite their fire. Stop running. Start confronting. Transform your fear into your greatest strength. Your future self is calling. Answer with courage. Number 10, stop wasting time and get serious about change. Time is the one thing you can never get back, and every second you waste today is a moment stolen from the life you could be living tomorrow. There comes a point in every person's life when the weight of wasted hours, missed chances, and unfulfilled potential becomes unbearable. You feel the gnawing inside, a voice telling you that you're meant for more, that you have untapped power, but somehow you're stuck. Maybe you tell yourself that tomorrow will be different, that next week you'll start, or that someday the motivation will finally show up. But here's the brutal truth, that someday is a lie you keep telling yourself to avoid discomfort. The clock is ticking, and the longer you wait, the further away your dreams slip. Getting serious about change is not a gentle nudge. It's a radical shift. It demands that you stop making excuses and start acting like the person who refuses to settle for less than extraordinary. It's about tearing down the walls of procrastination and distraction that have held you captive. You must treat your goals like they are non-negotiable, because in reality they are. Imagine looking back a year from now and realizing you did nothing different, that you let fear, doubt, or laziness win. Imagine the sting of knowing that the only thing standing between you and the life you desire was your own hesitation. The pain of regret is heavier than any discomfort you'll face pushing yourself today. Think about the moments when you were truly committed, times when you put your whole heart into something and didn't allow distractions or excuses to derail you. You remember how it felt, powerful, unstoppable, alive. What if you lived every day with that same intensity? The secret to real change is urgency, not the fake kind that blares for a minute and fades. True urgency is a deep, burning fire inside you that demands action now. It's a refusal to waste your precious time on things that don't move you forward. When urgency drives you, hesitation disappears. You no longer negotiate with your dreams. You execute. Here's what happens when you stop wasting time. Your mindset sharpens, your confidence grows, and your results multiply. You stop drowning in endless to-do lists and start making deliberate choices that align with your vision. You become a force that no circumstance can break. But serious change is not a one-time decision. It's a lifestyle. It's choosing every morning to prioritize what matters over what's comfortable. It's saying no to distractions, no to toxic habits, and yes to growth. It means building habits that serve your goals even when motivation fades. When you commit deeply, the world starts responding. Doors open where there were walls. Opportunities appear when you least expect them. Energy you didn't know you had ignites. This is the power of decisive action fueled by genuine seriousness. I want to tell you a story. A friend of mine was stuck in a cycle of maybe someday. He had dreams of building a business, of changing his life, but he kept waiting for the perfect time. Years passed. One day, something shifted inside him. He realized the cost of waiting was too high. He stopped making excuses, carved out time every day, and focused relentlessly. The transformation wasn't instant, but it was unstoppable. Today, he's living the life he once only dreamed of. That change started the moment he decided to stop wasting time. This isn't just about productivity hacks or motivation quotes. It's about confronting your truth with brutal honesty. What have you been avoiding? What dreams have you shelved because they seemed too hard? What price are you willing to pay for comfort because comfort is a cage disguised as safety? The pain of staying the same is far greater than the discomfort of change. Change stretches you, challenges you, and yes, it will scare you. But it will also heal wounds, open new doors, and reveal a strength you didn't know you had. Getting serious means you become your own biggest advocate. No more waiting on others to give you permission or validation. You recognize that the power to change your life lies entirely in your hands. That realization is both terrifying and liberating. You don't need to overhaul your entire life overnight. What you need is a commitment to start right now with whatever you have. Break your big goals into manageable steps. Build momentum with consistent action. Celebrate progress, no matter how small. And when setbacks come, remember why you started. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't isn't luck or talent. It's the willingness to put in the work, day after day, with unwavering seriousness. They refuse to let excuses dictate their future. The path to transformation is lined with moments where you must choose between comfort and growth, fear and courage, stagnation and progress. Choosing growth every time is the defining mark of those who change their lives. This is your wake-up call. Stop waiting for perfect conditions. Stop blaming circumstances. Stop telling yourself stories that keep you stuck. The only thing standing between you and the life you want is the decision to get serious, right here, right now. I want you to commit to one thing today. No more wasted time. No more delaying. No more empty promises to yourself. Take one step toward change. It might be small, but it counts. It's a declaration that you are ready to reclaim your time and your life. If you want different results, you have to do something different. It starts with a choice, a fierce, unshakable choice to own your power and act. The clock is ticking, and your future is waiting. Don't let another moment slip away. Show up for yourself with everything you've got. Make today the day you stop wasting time and start transforming your life with unstoppable seriousness. Because when you finally get serious, the world moves to make space for your greatness. Your time is now. What will you do with it?